So, Scream 5 is here, and thankfully, it's actually good. Slasher movies, and especially slasher franchises, have never really been my thing, but I've always had a soft spot for Scream. Seeing how this franchise has evolved over time, both internally and externally, has been really fascinating. Because Scream sequels are very much a product of the horror movie landscapes in which they're made, and this is the first time that Ghostface's return has really meant something to me. Because as someone who finds the ever-pervasive trend of soft reboots and requels more annoying and tedious than straight reboots ever were, this feels like a Scream movie for me. This movie also has, quite simply, everything I want from a Scream movie. It balances out that self-reflexive, metatextual humor and earnest, bloody violence excellently.
I'll be right back.
He's dead.
The comedy stuck out to me much more than the horror, but that's because the whole movie, from concept to structure, is essentially a joke about sequels like this. I mean, even the title is a joke. But the kills are also fantastic. They have a real punch to them, that real human, grounded brutality that makes Ghostface such an interesting villain. Because Ghostface is always just some guy, but that's the fun of Scream, that mystery, and how it gets deepened with every new horror movie archetype and reference you encounter in the story. I found this movie's central mystery to be really compelling from beginning to end, and the payoff is incredible, again, both internally and externally. And even though the story is focused so heavily on the franchise's past, the new cast and crew bring a lot of fresh energy to the table. Scream 5 obviously owes a lot to Screams 1 through 4 in terms of story and characters, but it's also fairly accessible to new viewers, or at least as accessible as legacy sequels like this ever are. But there's no other sequel quite like this, and I would highly recommend Scream or Scream 5, whatever you want to call it, to old and new fans. I think this one is my favorite of the sequels now, because it's the first one in ages that really felt like it had something to say for itself. Wherever this franchise goes next, I am very much on board, and I hope these filmmakers can keep reinventing what Scream can be.
Hello, Sydney. It's